Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. So I wanted to do my top 5 favorite athletes today. So my first favorite athlete is Shannon Sharpe. So Shannon Sharpe played for the Denver Broncos where he won 2 championships, and then he played for the Baltimore Ravens where he won 1 championship. Pro Bowler, Hall of Famer, one of the greatest tight end, if not the greatest tight end, at least in my opinion. He was also known as Big Play Shay because all he needed to win in his later days was one big play, and that's how they would win because the Baltimore Ravens defense was so good, and then all they would call for is Shannon just to make that one big play. He also got another nickname in his playing days called Club Shay Shay, which he later turned into a podcast, which you all should check out. There's a video coming out today at around noon with Lavar Ball, and his first one was with his brother, which I'm going to talk about in just a second, Sterling Sharpe, which you should also go check out. And of course, you have to start off your very first podcast with the guy you looked up to, the guy you saw as your father figure. So Shannon Sharpe himself has gone on, like I said, to have his own Club Shay Shay podcast. Also, he has a show, Undisputed, with Skip Bayless, and it's one of the greatest sports shows on there. Lil Wayne did their theme song. He's always guest starring. They have great guest stars, and their two personalities go great together. My favorite athlete of all time is Israel Adesanya. So Israel Adesanya is a world-class kickboxer turned UFC champ. And he is one of the funniest guys. He has so many podcasts with Joe Rogan that I've listened to all of them. He loves manga, he loves anime, and in one of his fights with Anderson the Silver Spider, did the Rock Lee pose. You know, if you've ever seen Naruto, I'm going to put the picture right here of Rock Lee versus Gaara. And unknowing to Anderson Silva, he did the exact same pose as Gaara, so it worked out perfectly. And he's just one of the greatest athletes of all time. I love his fighting style. Like, the way he moves, just crazy. Like, he's really lengthy and it's just so fluid. The next and my favorite athlete is Tom Brady. So people are like, Tom Brady an athlete? Yes. He is a technician. He is a precognitive just machine of a quarterback. He's just speed reading defenses at a crazy level, still playing at a decently high level of quarterback. I'm pretty sure most teams would rather have Tom Brady than their current quarterback, which they're trying to replace and or cut in between the next 1 to 3 years, and or trade as well. Like, most teams are in the hunt for a quarterback. Why do you think the Dolphins are looking for Tua and going out on a guy who had so many injuries, but still they see the promise they might have, like Justin Herbert, who's played amazing, all these young quarterbacks who you have to take a chance on because you never know. They might be a Mitchell Trubisky, or they might be one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, so you never really know. You know, he's not that, you wouldn't look at Tom Brady and think, oh, he's an athlete. But the way he's been able to take his body and shred pure athletes, that takes talent, that takes athleticism. His intangibles are off the charts, and I don't know what to say. And he's barely mobile, so I don't know what teams are thinking. Tom Brady is not moving anywhere outside the pocket, so they know what they have to do to beat him. They just pressure him. That's it. That's all it takes to beat Tom Brady. You keep Tom Brady completely protected, everything is going to be okay. So my next favorite athlete is Mike Tyson. So Mike Tyson is obviously one of the greatest boxers of all time, but I mostly love him more for his post-career because he is so funny, and I love his journey, which is his self-improvement journey. It's really inspiring, the way he's been able to change his attitude and his mood, and the way he's still keeping strong and still working out. It's really inspirational to see him at such an age wanting to go back and box, wanting to go back and actually train, actually work and work and work. I love seeing, it's just so inspirational, and I've never ever witnessed something like this. And my final and favorite athlete is Sterling Sharpe. So that is Shannon's older brother. And a lot of people don't really know who he is. You know, it's because his career was cut short with a really bad injury. And it's really sad. He should be a Hall of Famer. He was a Triple Crown winner. He was one of the greatest wide receivers of all time. He played with the Green Bay Packers, and he played with basically nobody, and then a young Brett Favre. So it was really, really tough, but he was out here getting just 1,000-yard receiving, 1,000-yard receiving, 1,000-yard receiving. When back in the day, this was back in the day when nobody was doing this. Back when it was run the football. Nobody was out here, catching it and getting 1,000 yards. And he's still not into the Hall of Fame to this day, which I think is a little effed up. Because, there's other people who are in the NFL Hall of Fame with less credentials than him. So, what's going on here? But hopefully one day, this world will figure out that Sterling Sharpe deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. So please push for Sterling Sharpe to be in the Hall of Fame. If you know anybody who can vote, if you know anybody who has any sort of influence, that man deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Please remember to wear a mask and stay safe.